Hello, this is Mixers Fry. Going to reviewing G1 Studio Series Windcharger, who so just like Thundercracker, I got some from Amazon since I felt like to own the Powered Pies version, which is the first chance. And it felt like it would be nice to have a more modern figure representation of it. And it comes to the color scheme, so it's a bluish grey coloration, with reds and got some very light grey going on, and it also has a transparent blue, and well, of course, it's painted in blue, and it also so it looks great. It looks like how Windcharger is supposed to look. He cleans up extremely well, which is great. Now, mind you, when it comes to the shins, it can be pointed out that there's a bit on the hollow side, and I want to wish that it does consist of most of the car parts, which is there's to probably cover up the gap. It's I guess isn't. For instance, much, but it's still there, and still would be nice if the shin's cleaned up a bit better. But still, he looks great. So articulation, so can rotate the head 360 degrees. And now, when it comes, you do get this gimmick. If we come to the back, you do actually have the switch. Now, if you pull it down, it lifts the face up, which is actually a very cool gimmick there. Well, so it's a gimmick. You can just tell by just pushing the face down, or difficulty just. Yeah, but the actually no, but push back up, and there we go. Faces to the static position. The arms, which are ball jointed, you can rotate them 360 degrees, push up and down. You can rotate the biceps 360 degrees. You can move the elbows up and down. You can, well, the hands are on a ball joint, but unfortunately, I don't think you can actually rotate them in robot mode. You don't have enough clearance. Bit odd that it's ball joints when you can't really rotate them. Waist can rotate it 360 degrees. For legs, so you can have them do the splits. Now, cool joints. So rather than being sort of around here, the joint is actually there. So it actually makes them. It's got a. In words, so I guess my. That sounds so how it looks in Jewish one card. So these pretty much just look like massive pair of boots. So this would those are so feet, just a pair of big red boots. Yep. Now then, you can have the figure sit down. Legs can kick back like this, or like that, using the joint, which can be a bit stiff here, but it's still movable. And you can rotate the thigh 360 degrees. So you do get the standard articulation, which is nice. Now then, time to move on to the accessories, which you get this gun here. So it's fine looking. Two outstanding. You only get reports on the hands. Now there is a place to store it. Actually, I haven't tried this out. I'm curious if maybe this is an intentional feature of plug it onto the. I don't think so. It's too small. But you are meant to just plug it onto his bum, which is a bit awkward there. That's where you meant to store it, but I don't think you're really good to do that. You're gonna have to wield it. So with, I think the left hand side looking better. I'm actually going to have Windcharger be left-handed here. There we go, and yeah, that's fine. And that's not all. You also get this, I guess, this effect piece, which is so with most of it painted in yellow, so dark yellow, and it's a weird looking effect piece. It's meant to represent Windcharger using his magnetic powers, but it sort of looks also between it and him being shot, which is what he did to in the nice. So since you only see his corpse in the film, I'm going to use this big essential tab here, which is going to chest. I think I should also mention that you can use the smaller one here, store it onto the back. Just make it look blasting away. So let's say you're meant to plug it onto the which is it's not. It's further. That's a fact. So I don't really actually go to this figure. I don't pay that much attention to it. But anyway, I think we can already move on to the transformation. Or got to say about the rot roads. And the transformation itself it's a very enjoyable one. I think I should mention that, yeah, which is the last nice note to be given a role model figure representation. So that's transformation. So like I said, it's also starts the arms. You tuck the backwards like so, and then you rotate the front with some squeeze. I think they're going to do it. Okay, so go rotate like this. Which this is actually how they were packed. It was transformed a bit, so you can still leave it on there. On it to give the figure a more sort of more toy accurate look. But I think do prefer the cleaner look to the arms. Anyway, so I think I'm rotating them upwards. Looks a bit difficult to do it with just the one hand. Just maybe doing it. Okay, downwards this time. That one worked. There we go. And then with the head, so we'll say that the face is going to be visible for the roads, and if you just rotating 180 degrees, it's going to stick out too high up. So yeah, you have no choice but to make the face visible. Anyway, so go on to the back piece. You have to detach it like so. Can be a bit tricky. Let's see. There we go. There's meant to be this hard to see, but there's a slots underneath the top, the back, which will go onto the tab onto the back of the section like so. It is meant to. So far now it's not really cool. We want to probably show off the, tabbing the back. Okay, there I go. Started place, and now that's sorry. So anyway, just bring this all down. There we go. Just sort out this way. So now you have this double section. So now what you have to do is that you move the arm sections all the way up in this bottom hinge joints, and move down. There's this tab that's in the side of the forearms, which will go to the spots, the sides here. So also make sure that the back starts the way. So you fully tab it in. Do the same thing with the other sides, which that was much quicker. And now what you can do is use the two tabs underneath the back. So I think these gaps is the back of the forearm, so it's let's see. Move it further down and then down to the gaps. There we go. So that's the top half of the figure done, and so that's all that the car mode that is forming. Just the size and over the door. That's it. The car parts are in the legs. So what you have to do is to lift this hinge up, move middle up, flip this panel out, which is the car modes, and then what you have to do is flip out the rear wheels, which in slots go to the tablets outside the shins, which you can leave out to robot mode, but you wouldn't be able to get it all properly tabbed in, and it does get in the way a bit. But anyway, do the same thing with the other side. And then you get all this corresponding tabs of sock connection. See how things that the inner side on the tabs out right. That's the slots. Let's just try and get it all tabbed in, which would be definitely difficult to do it with. There we go. Yeah. And now what you have to do is to use these joints, flip all this all the way also down. Let's make sure that's all the way in. Get some tabs of sock connections. Don't allow it to get this all in place. There we go. Get snapping. And I think we're pretty much down. So it is definitely better than got to a. Well, there we go. It got to the Pontiac modes, which definitely looks great. It's see how it cleans up fast. We got the transparent blue windows being more prominent. The undersides in you can already see majority of the robot modes right there. There's all most of it's coming from the shins. And you also get this sort of black here. And also the tail lights. It's goes through rolling. Yeah, it rolls beautifully. As for the big wheels. So, but it is dual accurate and it still makes it roll beautifully. So anyway, storage. So the gun, and so it is meant to use not the bag. Use one to store it to one of these tabs at the shins. I think it's intended you to use first like this, which still rolls to 3, though it does stick out a bit too much for my liking. I think especially since you don't just get the one gun. I mean, this would have it here, but the connection isn't that secure. So this exhaust pipe, but that's the too much for my liking, so I don't really bother sawing the gun. When it comes to the blast effect, so the effect piece, so can't really store it underneath, unfortunately. Do get these big, massive tabs for some reason. I'm not sure why they're there. Actually, it might be to get it, those paddles tabbed in place, so you go back into robots mode. If you might have used the smaller tab attached to these, so that's the bumper. So it's like this, which looks a bit weird, especially that it is an so you can't really use the bigger tab to make the effects look cooler, unfortunately. And you can't have it be downwards, so I think they're going to get in the way of the wheels, unfortunately. So I just mostly acts like this effect piece doesn't exist. But there we go, that's all that's had to say about the figure. And what's it? Very nice figure. Looks so both modes. The color scheme is nice. The transformations are enjoyable. The accessories, I think, gun's fine. But the effect is good. I think we're the biggest on the effect piece, unfortunately, and issues. Well, that's not so. Got content mode. It's beautifully. What it maybe this could have cleaned up a little bit better, but as it stands, I think you guys give this figure an 8 out of 10. So that's all I've mixed.